Greetings, one and all. My name is Lancer, and welcome to the finale of Fate Zero. Can't believe I'm saying that, man. This journey has been long, but at the same time has been really short. Of course, it probably would have been longer if I had chosen to do single episodes at a time as opposed to doing 2 at a time, but you know. I didn't want, like, the next month of videos to just be this. Last time on Fate Zero, fuck, man. You know what? Fuck the recap. Let's just get right into the episode.
Now, Saber.
Oh, God.
How could I possibly hope to know a man from merely 3 commands alone?
Well, 2, but yeah.
I never even knew the hearts of those who served me well.
Yeah, may indeed have saved them, but you never led them.
Perhaps all this was a punishment meted out to a king who cannot understand others.
This whole war was just a punishment. Fucking hell, Final Flash! All the familiar spots. That's cool. Was it that simple?
That kid.
It's like when he was inside. You're right under that, buddy. Bunch of blood. It looks like lava. That's spreading a lot. Oh, Elia.
Daddy? Iliasphere? What's wrong? I had a really scary dream where I become a really big cup.
Yeah, this shit
And
again.
then after that,
Nice.
a big black hole opens up above my head. And then
He just runs into the fire.
Daddy looks at it all and just begins to cry.
Oh my god.
Daddy's doing the best he can for you.
Fuck.
Daddy always works very hard.
It's like the first. That's just like the first scene. Fuck. Oh yeah, Karya. Yeah, that. He was so close.
Never disobey, grandfather.
Yeah, she's gone. But that was inevitable. Yeah. Back to this though.
Digging you out from underneath all of this rubble was quite a troublesome endeavor.
Just naked.
Gilgamesh.
Of course, he's up high again.
I imagine it to be an obvious message from heaven that I should return to this age to rule the world.
Are you saying you have achieved incarnation?
He's reincarnated.
But I was shot. I don't get it. I have no heartbeat.
He's a zombie.
The fact is, I really have no idea. To my eyes, you still seem quite dead. But the 2 of us were connected by our pact. All the other servants are gone. So I suppose we must be the ones who have won the Grail. Behold the result of our victory.
Yoriko Bish. Yeah, it wasn't obvious, but yeah, Saber's dead. I mean, it's safe to assume that just because like she was so, I guess, drained by the end. You know, just using one last Excalibur, sapped all her mana at the very end.
What you see before you, Kirei Kotomine, is your wish. It is exactly what you most desired.
Death and destruction.
This is it? What the hell does this make me? This is the joy I sought? Could something so twisted, so corrupt, have truly sprung forth from the seed of Father Rise Kotomine?
Still thinks of his father.
Did my father sire a soulless demon more evil than the devil himself?
Well,
Are you satisfied now, Kirei?
even Gilgamesh is like,
This isn't nearly enough.
he wants to destroy the whole world.
The formula that yielded this strange, unsettling answer should exist somewhere. As a greater, clearer principle one can understand, I must dedicate the remainder of my life to fully understanding it.
Yeah.
Your questions would slay the very gods. I shall watch you seek out your answer.
It's cool. It's like even just fully naked and exposed, he's still just like high and mighty. I mean, that's Gilgamesh for you. Cool detail there though. The red cape. I mean, part of Gilgamesh's like outfit does have like a red cape like down below, but you know, it's kind of like a subtle thing to Ryder maybe. I will help you seek out your answer.
I will reach it again, and next time, I will see it to the end. Its birth. The proof of its existence.
The next war.
Kiritsugu, Emiya, I accept your challenge.
Yeah, he's already defeated. It's cool because in a way they've swapped, like from where they were at the very beginning. It's like Kiritsugu, obviously while he wasn't happy, you know, he at least like he had a goal in mind, like he was pursuing it. He was still able to smile to some degree. Whereas Kira, he just had no goal, no anything. Like, you know, he was just following Tokiomi, being nothing, just having no path. But now they've swapped in that regard, where it's like Kira, he has this goal, he's smiling, like he knows what he wants. Whereas Kiritsugu, he's lost everything, and now he doesn't know what's left. Would have been interesting if they talked there, though. Oh, here we go.
I remember the look on his face over finding someone alive in the rubble. It was almost as though it had been him who had been saved that day.
He's alive. He's alive.
So fervently that even as I teetered on the brink of death, I felt jealous of him. That he was glad he'd found someone. That by saving even one person, he had saved himself.
Okay. So, there's so much to this one scene, but I just remember watching this for the first time, just like, okay, why are we hearing this kid's inner monologue? And then, of course, looking back on it now after watching the entirety of Fate Stay Night and just everything, okay, yeah, that monologue, it means a lot. Oh, Shiro. Up, and then the clock reaches 0. Oh yeah, waiver.
I'm thinking of taking some time off from school. Of course, I'll talk to Dad in Toronto about it first.
Dad. Do we know, like, where Waver's actual family is? I mean, also, yeah, take some time off from school. I think you're gonna have a decent amount of time off from school, considering that your teacher is, you know, dead.
I'd like to do some traveling.
Oh, Mom.
He's gonna conquer the world.
That sounded exactly like something Alexi would say.
Anyway,
Yeah, glad someone gets a happy ending in this goddamn show.
I don't get how he could have possibly left such a mess behind.
He was reading Shakespeare, huh? He got him a shirt.
What an idiot.
Yeah, come on, plug in the game.
I know that my Redeemer lives. How my heart yearns within me. Amen.
Something so ironic about Kira being the sermon at Tokiomi's funeral. I mean, I get it. It's kind of like in Death Note, the like deleted scene with Light is at L's funeral, the killer being at the victim's funeral. I just feel bad for Rin more than anything.
Why don't you go and fetch your mother now?
Yes, I'll do that.
She's still alive somehow.
Is it someone's funeral today?
Yeah,
That's right, Mother. Father died.
well, at least she's being honest.
Goodness, dear. Your necktie isn't on straight.
Yeah, she's gone.
Do you have any immediate concerns?
None at all. I don't need your help for anything.
Take care that you are in peak physical condition when I return.
Peak. She's 10. Or no, she's not 10. She's 6? At least 6 or 7.
And to commemorate this day, I'd like to offer you a very special gift.
Oh my god. You're such a dick.
When my master acknowledged the results of my training and declared it finally complete, he presented this to me. But given the circumstances, I think you should have it.
Such a fucking dick. But like, that's what he wants though. He wants people to suffer. Yeah, here's the dagger I killed your father with.
This was my father's.
Fucking... Yeah, just that little smirk in there. God. I still love you, Kira, though. Yeah, Saber.
Lancelot.
King Arthur, you never once spoke of my many sins. You never sought atonement from me. I desired judgment at your hands. Had your anger judged me, I might not have fallen onto the path of madness.
I am unworthy.
Oh man.
One day, friend, I will claim the Grail.
You
Should have been king.
Should have been king. That... Oh my god. I love that even in his berserker form, you know, the version that hates King Arthur, for him, he's just like, you were the greatest of all kings. Well, I mean, he never met Iskandar. I have to put an asterisk on that. It's those words, man, that's just gonna echo throughout everything with Saber, and I wish would come up in more stuff. You may indeed have saved them, but you never led them. And even there, I mean, her version of that, just like, I should have been king.
I visited the Einsburns many times,
Nah.
but as I had not returned with the Grail, Yubstachite never opened the forest's barrier for me.
Ugh.
I never saw Ilya again.
It's so fucked, man. It sucks because that sends Ilya on her life path. But Kiritsugu, you said, like, when you talked to Airi, it's just like you'd return for her, killing anybody in your way, but I get Ainsburn magic is very strong.
I swore that Iliasfeel would be the final person I would ever lose. My life was meant to be one solely of loss.
Background character.
I adopted my son Shiro.
Shiro.
The little boy I saved that day.
If you're so tired you're gonna fall asleep, go to bed.
Right. I'm fine. When I was little, I really wanted to be a hero.
You don't want to anymore? Did you just give up?
Seems that wish has an expiration date. When you grow up, it's hard to call yourself one.
Since you can't do it, I'm gonna be a hero for you. Just leave it to me.
Yeah, leave it to you, man.
I'll make it happen.
Oh, and then transition to her? Okay. I love Fate.
You do that. I can rest easy now.
Tell me, Carrie, what do you want to grow up to be?
What I want to be is a hero.
He's a hero. And just like that, it's over. Well, that was Fate Zero. Again, even though this is my 4th rewatch, technically 5th, because again, editing and all that, it still hits, man. You know, for the longest time, it's still like, what is my all-time favorite? Is it Dragon Ball Z or is it Fate Zero? Again, my journey through anime and all this, and honestly the reason that we really are here on this channel, is because of Dragon Ball Z. And at the end of the day, I will still always come back to Dragon Ball, because, you know, it's just a world and powers and whatnot that I love. But in terms of just the ultimate just package of a show that I think is perfect, because even still, I don't think Dragon Ball Z is perfect. And again, like, I'm sure you could point out like flaws and like holes and whatnot. I'm sure even I've pointed out certain things, but this is one of those shows, like, I don't see the flaws. I watch it and I'm just enthralled in every single fucking second of it, because as I said, it's perfect. That last episode is shorter than I remember, man. I mean, granted, I wasn't really pausing a whole lot as I normally do to talk about stuff, just because, like, I don't know, I was just letting it ride. Oh man, where do I even fucking start? I guess we'll start just going through the very beginning of it. So yeah, Saber destroyed the Grail, and I guess Kiritsugu thought that would just be the end, but nope. The Grail backlashed against him, and then it spewed out just the blood or just like magma, whatever, and it just landed right on top of Gilgamesh. And I mean, through it landing on Gilgamesh, he was reborn, and now he's just alive. He's a human, but still has servant powers. You know, it's interesting, but at the same time, it also reincarnated Kirei. I mean, it's a thing that we delve into in future stuff and Fate Stay Night stuff, but I forget the exact specifics, but because like Gilgamesh is a servant, like the corruption of that or whatever didn't affect him, so it bled into Kirei. But just that scene of Kiritsugu, the realization just he thought he made the right choice. And again, the way I look at it, he did. You know, he didn't realize that that would be the repercussions, that a large chunk of Fuyuki would be destroyed. The way you can look at it is like that was the Grail's like last ditch effort trying to like birth itself, but it only was able to get so far. Still killed a good amount of people though. And just like that last ditch thing of Kiritsugu just trying to save whoever he could. That like that scene like where he picks up the body and it just turns to ash and he just starts crying. It's just, oh. But he does find one person. He finds Shiro. It's a sad thing with Shiro because it's like, I mean, it's safe to assume what happened to his original family. I don't know, like going into like Fate Stay Night and stuff, he doesn't talk about like his family. I guess from like the trauma of it all. I think he does talk about that in one of the Fate Stay Night stuff. It's like the trauma of it all. It's just like he kind of just had an amnesia of some sort. It's like, what was Shiro's original name before he became Shiro Emiya? But yeah, just also that scene there at the very end between Shiro and Kiritsugu. Again, a scene that pretty much sets up the entirety of Fate Stay Night, while also being the bookend to Fate Zero. I'll become a hero for you. Just leave it to me. And Kiritsugu just accepting that, just like, oh, I guess I can rest then. Which is, again, a big thing. Fuck, I'm just gonna say it. It's not long after that scene that Kiritsugu ultimately passes, that he dies. Which, going into Kiritsugu's death, it's like, man was already so fucked up that he just had like no soul pretty much, but it's cool that like his last couple years of life, he got to just sort of have just a normal life again. Again, from like when he left the island with Natalia to like his entire life up to when he saved Shiro, pretty much for several decades, like he was just a killer, a mercenary. Now that he's had his shot at what he thought was his chance to save the world, and now that in his own way he has. And that's another thing, like I want to see a version of Fate Stay Night that truly follows Zero. Again, Heaven's Feel kind of does it in some respects, but like where it deals more with characters like Gilgamesh, Kirei, and even talking more about Kiritsugu, because something that they don't delve into in Fate Stay Night is just like, in its own roundabout way, Kiritsugu was the reason that Fuyuki, like so many people died there. So obviously he feels guilt for that, but he just sort of had to take that to his grave. But again, it's what sets up Shiro, because Shiro only ever views Kiritsugu as like his father figure, his hero. It's just interesting that like throughout Shiro's whole life, I mean, depending on the route you take, he never really learns about who Kiritsugu really was. I mean, he does in Heaven's Feel through like talking to Saber and Kirei and certain stuff, but he never truly knows. Again, Kiritsugu's like entire life, he was a killer, and how he ultimately, again, I mean, it was the Grail, but like, you know, he tried to destroy it. That's why I don't like Fate Stay Night as much. It's just the character of Shiro. It's like, he's fine. I like the Heaven's Feel version more. It's just because the Stay Night and the Unlimited Blade Works Shiro, it's just, he's such a, I guess, just a Deku character, where he just, I want to be a hero, I want to save the world. But like the Heaven's Feel one, again, I prefer that more just because he wants to be a hero for a specific person. Again, even though Kiritsugu in his own way is similar, you know, he wants to save the world. I don't know, I just love how, like, again, it's fucked up, but in a way, like, it's understandable method. And just also another thing, that scene with Saber and just hearing that last monologue, it's interesting that, because Berserker, again, up to like episode 23, you know, he was just Berserker. He's just a crazed, like, knight thing, I guess. You know, you don't really know too much about him, but then turns out to be Lancelot, and then, again, just that big thing of just, you are the true king. But it's kind of a cool thing there at the end where Saber kind of forces herself to kind of forgive herself in a way, but still is like headstrong and wanting to claim the Grail, which again bleeds into Fate Stay Night stuff. And I just love that scene as well with Shiro just being like, I'll be a hero for you, and then it quickly like switches over to Saber, and it's like, oh, okay. I love just the visuals and just the subtle direction of Fate Zero just so much. Shiro wanting to be a hero and getting that chance, which again then bleeds into Fate Stay Night and the Fifth Holy Grail War when he fucking summons Saber. Yeah, that one scene, it's what sets off his entire life path. Fate Zero, it's a prequel to Fate Stay Night. So while I loved the parts of Fate Zero that didn't really bleed into Fate Stay Night more, it's always just cool seeing setup for future stuff, you know, especially with Kirei and Gilgamesh. Then of course the kids, Rin, Sakura, and Shiro, and then also Ilia. Just, you know, there's so many of those points when I was watching earlier stuff where I was just like, of course, me continuously saying fuck Fate Stay Night. I kind of want to talk about some Fate Stay Night stuff here, because I guess I'll talk about this now. Am I going to now start reacting and do a series with some of the Fate Stay Night stuff? I'm still grappling with that, and I thought that I would finally come to a decision by the time I got to this point, and I still haven't. I still haven't come to a decision, because I don't know if I want to. Because I'm going to be honest, I don't like Fate Stay Night as much as Fate Zero. If I was going to jump into Fate Stay Night, a part of me kind of wants to do like all of the routes, like do Fate Stay, but no. I would jump into Unlimited Blade Works. I've only watched Unlimited Blade Works twice, and I haven't really revisited it a lot since then. Like, I've watched fights and stuff and certain stuff, because Unlimited Blade Works does have one of my favorite Fate stories. Again, I won't spoil that, but the rationale I've come up with, just when it comes to Unlimited Blade Works and just Fate Stay Night, while there is stuff I kind of want to talk about, I don't have as much that I want to talk about as I have with Fate Zero. Not enough that would warrant even doing like 2 episodes at a time. Like, I still think they would be fairly short. It would pretty much just be your reaction stuff. Again, I love Fate Zero just mainly because it's its own thing, because Fate Stay Night has, you know, the Fate route, Unlimited Blade Works, Heaven's Feel, all these different routes, so it's like there's not like a concrete like storyline. There's bits and pieces from each route that I like. I love Fate Zero more just because like it's just one story, like there's no branching things, it's just one thing. For now, I'm gonna take a break from the Fate stuff just because this was really fun, and again, it ended way faster than I ever thought thought it would, and I'm really glad I decided to do this, even though it was kind of poorly timed with like stuff I was gonna do, but this was still a fun way to cap out this year and just talk about Fate and revisit it, because, you know, it's been like nearly 2 years now since I have visited the Fate lore, and I've remembered a lot more than I thought I did. It's all still there, man. There's still just so much I want to talk about, but again, this video would be crazy long, and well, I would rather dedicate it to future videos doing stuff with Fate Zero than just packing it all in this one. Thank you all for joining me for this journey on Fate Zero. What a journey it's been. You can now watch the entire reaction series on the playlist, of course, linked up there. And this has been fun. It's given me motivation now to sort of maybe revisit other series that I've watched before that I hold very dear, that maybe I can, you know, do a similar sort of series for. And I have one in mind, so going into the new year, I'll definitely pursue that at some point. But in terms of Fate stuff, whether or not I maybe will revisit Unlimited Blade Works in a series or not, still don't know. Might watch Heaven's Feel, but I feel like I would have to do Unlimited Blade Works first. But either way, this has been my reaction to episode 25, as well as all of Fate Zero as a whole. Join me for many other videos of the sort, be they reaction reviews or anything else that'll be coming out soon. So thank you all for joining me on this. I'm Lancer. Thanks for watching.